come as you are.
I've considered leaving this country.
Don't pay taxes.
Seriously, I've really considered leaving this country.
You know what, man? I don't think that's a bad idea. You know what I'm saying? Because technically speaking, this isn't even our country, right?
Nah.
You know, depending on who you are, man. Hey, man, I know my people, my forefathers come from Scotland.
Yeah, we were brought over here, man.
You know what I'm saying? But for the majority of minorities, yes, we were brought over here in slavery and chains.
Our roots are both.
You know, that's also something that we don't have to trace back as late as or as early as the 1800s, man. That's something that's been biblically recorded, you know what I'm saying, in the Bible, in Exodus, right? There's always been a mass slave trade that's been taking place on God's children. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And that is one of the reasons why we're seeing the conditions minorities are in, is because we're not necessarily following, you know, the one true living God. We're not following his commandments, we're not following his statutes. You know what I'm saying? And we all fall short to it, right? We're human, we're flesh, right? Flesh is you know, it falls to so many different things, whether it be lust or whether it be glutinous with various foods, man, or whether it be pride or enviness, or, you know, being emotionally unstable, right? We all fall to it, man.
Let me ask you, Pat, have you ever, like, any guys, you know, growing up, where you were like a classroom where you had unruly, you know, peers, and your parents moved you to a different school or a different classroom because there were some issues with you learning? What's the difference with being an adult living in a country that is unruly?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I would say that, man.
Because I feel like survival is what matters most.
Yeah.
And if you know what you know, you can go anywhere and make it happen. So if you're looking at like long-term sustainability for your family, wouldn't you want to just bounce when things got intolerable? You had the question. Look, I came back up here to Aurora for some car shit last week with my son in the car, and for the first time in like forever, I saw hoes in the street half naked, and I was like,
wearing
high heels, just exposing themselves.
I lived here before I didn't have a kid, now I do.
And that's what the big difference is. You can
explain that at 2 o'clock p.m. What?
And he's young and he's soaking in all of this.
He's out the window going, okay.
Because they're trying to program the youth to normalize promiscuity.
Yeah, it's sickening.
And it's very sick, man, because we're seeing it all across the board, man. The standards for women fully dressing themselves is at an all-time low right now. We're literally normalizing promiscuity amongst our women. Now, here's the thing, right? You're only really disrespecting yourself. More importantly, you're disrespecting your lineage, your father, your grandfather.
I think that's the thing, though.
They want to disrespect themselves.
It goes deeper than just your lineage, because not only is your lineage who you come from, you're also impacting people who don't know you.
That's true.
People who see you maybe at a glance.
Somebody jump out a window.
I ain't gonna crap that little thing.
That sounds like a fall guy.
Oh, that's good. He's out there. But you're not only disrespecting people who you're related to, which is big. You want to protect your family name, but now you're influencing other people who see you.
Right.
And even worse, you're influencing younger kids who don't know the difference. Right, who haven't gotten the chance to be able to decipher what's right, what's wrong. All they know is what is. That's all they see.
You see that right there, Paul? You mind grabbing that for me real quick, man? It's that little golden cup.
Yeah.
So check this out, right? This golden cup is what actually the whore of Babylon held in her hand. It was the golden cup full of abominations. They said that the people of Babylon were drunken off of her fornications from the golden cup. And that's what we're seeing in America right now.
Yeah, that's the problem, where it's like they make it seem as if it's an easy way to make a living. That's so easy. You don't need education. You need no effort put in, and you can reap the benefits and maybe even make more than the hard-working blue-collar American, right?
Right.
You want to know why?
Shout out to the blue-collar workers.
For sure. Everyone's appreciated in that realm. So you want to know why people think, for example, OnlyFans is a good profession.
Wow.
It's because they see only the 1% who actually do good and have a following. They see them make money and they think, oh, that's easy. I can post thirst traps. I can post this and that and make a legitimate income. When in actuality, you need management. You really need to sell your soul. You need high quality,
it's selling in the exchange of the soul.
It is. And even OnlyFans is a way. It's a different form of. You see the prostitutes on Aurora.
Right.
That's a different form of prostitution. It's on like online prostitution.
They get attention is what drives them. It's not really about the money at some point.
It is.
It comes to the drive for attention. Like everybody wants me. Does you want me too? They don't really care if you want them or not.
I see.
So it's the demand for worldly attention is what's been detrimental.
They feel that Jezebel spirit in its fullness because they're exposing themselves, and the demon says, hey, all you gotta do is expose yourself. You're gonna feel what it's like to be on top.
Right.
And then all these fucking assholes is like, oh my God, you so tight, you so fine, that attention blows their head up.
So let me ask you
the
this.
online stimulation.
So there you go.
So let me ask you guys this, right? I have a solution. Just what if, and not even hypothetically speaking, but legitimately speaking here, what if the collective of men in this particular society just stopped entertaining OnlyFans, just stopped entertaining going to strip clubs,
that would be the best thing
and
ever
frivolously spending money, thousands if not millions of dollars in the strip clubs.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? You talk about business.
Boycotting women.
Boycotting promiscuity.
Boys are boycotting those kind of events, and then uplifting the proper events that we want to happen. And legitimately, you can speak legitimately about that because let's say we do band together and we stop funding these events. It's no longer going to be a market or demand.
That market is going to bankrupt.
It's going to go bankrupt, and the thing is, then we're going to have to start implementing legitimate ways now to make proper income. But that's so funny you say that because sorry, it's not going to happen.
I think it's going to happen.
There's too many men. No, there's too many men out there who aren't in our field who don't see the world how we see it.
It's that type of women.
As long as the world,
type of women, because there's a certain type of women who keeps their ass in gear, goes to work every day. They're good moms, but they're not as attractive.
For sure.
And we're driven by what looks good. So majority of men out there is like, well, the bad chick is the one that like I shouldn't be with, but I like that better aesthetically than the chick that actually, would be a better wife.
Facts.
So maybe we gotta change what we're looking at and how we define a good woman. Maybe like avoid the vixen.
I feel you. I think the better solution is just. And when I say eradicate, I don't mean like murder or kill. I think we need to find a way to isolate the men who are giving the platform for these women. Because why would those men are tolerating bad behavior.
That's right.
And when it's tolerated, it's encouraged because it works. For a lack of better term, there's simping.
I put it like
we need to kill that market for demand.
In the year 2024, if you consider and if you qualify as a simp, you need to join the military. No hands, no ifs, no buts. You need to join the military. Get you some true discipline. Conquer your lust. Okay, conquer your desire to spend frivolous amounts of money towards body parts, going to the strip clubs. Man, I mean, this isn't just poor pookie behavior. These we have multi-millionaires, billionaires.
It's hard to convince a dude like
what I'm saying, frivolously spending money towards these types of events.
It takes hard work to get to the point where you're desirable and you don't have to feed into that.
Big shout outs to the women out there who do cover themselves up. Big shout outs to the women out there who do make an honest living for themselves, man, waking up every morning, going to their 9 to 5.
You are the example we need more of because it's very childish of men to think we can go ahead and continue to exist this way and give them their props when there's no props due, right? We need to stop making the most basic things a reward, and we need to stop rewarding basic behavior,
right?
And that starts with men. And I'm sorry to say, man, if you weren't raised in a household where your father taught you how to be an honest man, how to have morality, now you need to go out beyond yourself and seek that out from someone. And if it's too late for you, sometimes it's too late for you. So we don't need to waste time on those guys who aren't helping us propagate a proper society. We need to, and I'm not saying banish people from you're banished, but it's like we need to stop giving a microphone, a voice, an influence, or a decision to these people, bro, because they're going to keep funding.
I gotta disagree with you. The Bible does say avoid certain people in the end times. I think I shared this with Patrick.
Oh, please share. Yeah.
There's a scripture that really tells you that in the end times there will come times of a lot of suffering.
No, for sure.
And that the Gentiles were trodden upon the God's chosen children.
I'm saying ignore them. Don't give them a microphone. Don't give them a voice.
They shouldn't be ignored. They shouldn't be ignored because they need help. If they cannot,
But if it's too late, are you gonna still?
I don't think it's too late for anybody. Everybody has a chance. As long as your soul
That's where I
is still
disagree.
intact with your body, you have a chance. Because
That's
if you
where I
didn't have a
disagree.
chance, God wouldn't allow you to live right now. As long as you're living, you have possibility. You can always change.
I mean, brother, you can get the choice, but if you still choose not to,
Now, is it our job, our due diligence to force you to change? No, you have to change on your own.
It's pretty simple. It says here, 2 Timothy 3:1-4. But understand this, that in the last days there will become times of difficulty. For people will be lovers of self, lovers of money, proud, arrogant, abusive, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy, heartless, unappeasable, slanderous, without self-control, brutal, not loving good, treacherous, reckless, swollen with conceit, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having the appearance of godliness but denying its power.
Wow.
The last one is avoid such people.
Avoid such people.
And I think that it's outlined in the Bible so that we could understand that in order to remain kind of, whole. Because when we deal with people who are toxic, it takes away from you. You don't feel so whole. You don't feel so good about yourself. You're being taken backwards. So in avoiding people, in a sense, you're just stepping outside of the chaos and the toxicity.
Right.
It's really that simple.
yeah,
It's necessary, 100%.
I do believe it's necessary to avoid, because association is what essentially is going to influence your decision as well. So if we have these people around us and we're trying to make them better, if they choose not to change their ways, that's when we draw the line, the boundary, and we try to isolate them. And we also need to bring back shaming in a way where it's understandable that it's not okay to do certain things.
Right.
It's not okay to cross a busy highway where cars are just going, because what's going to happen? There's a cause and effect. So are we going to encourage that behavior? No, we need to shame that behavior. Don't do that. And this is what happens when you do that. And so we need to do that with certain behaviors that we see in society now. And if people aren't going to listen or heed to those disgraceful behaviors, hey, all right, cool. Now you're on your own. You're on your own over there. Where now we're assembling. We're assembling an organization of people who think like us, who want to see better. We're not gonna take those resources and go to people who've already denied the teachings, right? Because that's not going to get us anywhere. We're going to focus on that one person who's willing to change, or who has the forefront to be like, okay, I'm not there, but I can get there.
And that's setting a good example. We need more good examples,
Yeah, more examples, more good examples. And then what that's going to help us is this. People are going to realize that we can achieve positive outcomes by thinking positively and behaving positively. And that's when everything becomes better, right? We're no longer encouraging our women to be freelancers who have no purpose, who are on the blade. We're encouraging them to find stability within family, education, proper household, profession, etc.
I find that women on the surface want that independence, but deep down, they know they need that structure that only a man can provide. I'm a strong believer in that. And when you actually challenge yourself to get over the conflict and the conflict resolution, you get past that point, and you start to see, your woman, significant other, kind of respond to some of the positive reinforcement, then it almost becomes like a duty for a man to keep that rolling. And like anything, there's going to be challenges with, slipping away from the core of what works, but to stick through it and say, well, what is love? Being in love is really not good.
That's true.
But loving your woman enough to stick through it and keep her nose on the grind is the ultimate love you can give, and call it hard love. And I think that's what we need to focus on.
That's true. And you have the woman who needs guidance. You have the man who needs to be able to teach. And if we're lacking on that purpose, there's no way there's going to be a woman who's going to follow us, right? Women want to be independent, but they do benefit from guidance. Men want to be independent, but they benefit from learning how to be a teacher. So we need to be able to teach. And because the society's in disarray, I blame all of it on man. Men is our fault.
Absolutely.
It started with us. It's going to end with us. And if we can't tighten up and be better teachers and stop, feeding into our vices, hey, society's going to continue to go on a downturn. So I challenge you as a man, hone in on yourself.
It's easy.
Find yourself and be able to teach those who want to learn from you. Period. Point.
I'm gonna share with you guys an easy way to get out of the issue with women, right? Because let's be real, it always comes down to sex, right? All right. How many men in this room have had good sex with women that they did not get along with?
Wow.
For sure, bro. I mean, if the coochie's there,
I'm
I'm
sure
sure
most men
people
can
are
agree
taking
with
the
that.
coochie. Yeah.
Right. But if you don't get along with that woman, eventually you get bored of it. You're like, I don't really want to even do anything with you.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. You know, when you're willing to eventually find the right woman for you, that partner, sex will be an afterthought. You'll be like, oh man, we're good on that.
Right.
We winning on so many other different fronts. We have so much more than just the sexual aspect. We're winning together. I feel like this is my partner in life. I feel like we can accomplish whatever God gives us. That feeling outweighs any sexual experience whatsoever. I think if we challenge ourselves to look at the outcome of being with the right person, we can eliminate falling into the trap of, you know, these harlots and these Jezebels.
The flesh will kill us.
The flesh will kill us.
Living in the flesh.
We gotta be willing to just say, you know what, abstinence. Period.
And I really think the